Okay, Easter Sunday, April 17th. It's been a while since I made a video. Um, so yeah, since the last week, I'm sure you all read the news that they sunk a ship, and that was quite eventful. The Moskva. I mean, it's just unbelievable, actually, that they sunk the battleship, the main flagship of the Russian Navy. And apparently, it was like only two Neptune missiles. I mean, I just didn't see them having enough payload to take out a whole ship. But if that ship was filled with gunpowder and vodka, then yeah, it's possible. You set off secondary explosions and they have poor procedures, then anything is possible. You know, that they can, if the crew isn't properly trained to seal off the compartments fast enough, then the ship will start taking on water and sinking, and everyone panics. Now when I was in the Navy, we spent a lot of time on firefighting and stopping floods, and it was almost robotic how to go through the procedures to seal off compartments and what have you, to stop flooding, so stop fires on board. It seems like, I don't know, Russian military isn't what we thought it was. I mean, it's really it's good news and it's bad news in a way, that maybe Russia will become more aggressive. I don't know, but mostly I see it as good news that Ukraine will remain independent. That there is hope. If they can do this 13 more times, the port of Odessa will open and we can get some brown rice back in the supermarkets here. We're still, it's still hit and miss at the supermarkets. Not as bad as it was 2 weeks ago, but there's still things, like I say, brown rice and certain, vegetables are hit and miss, and the fruits are hit and miss. We're having better luck in the markets, these little street markets. They're like hidden in little corners here and there, and they just work in cash. They tend to be better than the markets, Excuse me. So yeah, it's cold. Yeah, it's cold here on Easter. It's definitely a cold day, and what have you. So yeah, but I think we're 50 some days into the conflict, and yes, a new reality, as I've been saying in past videos, has emerged. People are getting back to work. Things are opening up. Still, the two Indian restaurants are completely shut down. I think the guys went to Europe. My feeling is, I think if you were holding a resident card here in Ukraine, like if you were an Indian national or some foreign national, but you had the resident card, that made you eligible for refugee status in Europe. So I imagine all those Indian people that were here and foreigners that were here, they all ran off to Europe to get into the system, because I think after you're a refugee for a couple of years, you can apply for permanent residency and then eventually European citizenship. I mean, if I was, from India or Africa or, Middle East or someplace like that, and here in Ukraine, and that was opened up to me, I would do it too. So I think there's some entrepreneurship opportunities here for Indian restaurants, because they're all closed here, and I'm dying for it. I'm definitely missing it. Maybe think about taking a trip next month to. I'm supposed to take a trip this month, but just haven't gotten around to it. It's a little bit harder. There's no planes now. You got to take a bus at the border. You got to really pack up for the wait at the border and everything. So, it's like in the old days, like in the 1800s or something, when you have to get a horse and a carriage and really prepare yourself for a trip, just 100 miles, 100 U.S. miles, or a couple hundred miles now. It's like a real ordeal. It's not like you just go down to the airport, take a ticket, and you're in Warsaw in an hour. It used to be like that. I mean, you'd have to book probably a week in advance, because those flights used to fill up pretty fast, Warsaw to Lviv flights. But yeah, you didn't need as much planning as you do now. Now you have to plan things a little bit more. So yeah, we're seeing more and more evidence too of the genocide. And I actually, I'm a pretty hardcore Trump supporter, but I have to say I admire Joe Biden for holding his ground and calling Putin a war criminal, and using some other terms, barbarian and all this. I mean, coming from an American president, that's quite important. I mean, it's he's going against all the European leaders and even his own staff, so have to give him points there, and we have to call it out. Maybe we have to call out what he is, So, yeah, you can see the apartment complex. They're still working on things here, building the playgrounds. I don't know, I've seen work resume, but it's slow. It's not like it used to be. Another thing we notice here is in the restaurants, its service has really gone downhill. And I think it's because the men can stay and the girls can leave. So a lot of, just for the same reasons as those people from foreign countries that are here with resident permits, a lot of younger girls have left Ukraine for Europe. They get into the system there, they'll get education, they'll get some support, they can become European citizens. Why not? Preferably I think everyone should stay. That would, be a show of force against Putin, that people aren't afraid, but at the same time, getting down to individual people and stuff, they all have their own life goals and things like that. So it's understandable how that happened, but a lot of even younger people from Lviv have left for Europe. Definitely most of the people from eastern Ukraine, young girls and young mothers and with the children, and they're all in Europe. I mean, some people are coming back, but I think the general trend is now that Europe is open, people will go there. It's just the working conditions and the laws and everything. It's like way better than Ukraine. Ukraine is like America. You can get hired and fired here pretty quick. I mean, you get a little bit better rights actually here than in the US. It's a little bit more European. You get some 24 days off every year, where in America you get 10, but in general, the salary, it's about money. The salaries are higher in Europe. Medical care is better. So, yeah, why wouldn't people go? But I hope that when they normalize this situation here and kick the Russians out and start rebuilding this country, they can rebuild it in the vision of Sweden or Germany or someplace like that, with good medical care, good education, open-minded thinking and all of this, that they could become more Western European, when they do the rebuilding here. Of course, it'll get expensive because part of being Western European is having mortgages, and bank lending and all this stuff will probably become a bigger part of life here after a reconstruction. They're going to need a lot of money, and there'll be a lot of, I think the governments will backstop the banks that lend money here, so the banks will be more willing to give out mortgages, and we could probably see mortgage lending take hold in Ukraine. So yeah, those are just some thoughts. It's like I said, I think I won't be making many videos about the war situation unless something major happens. I'm gonna start making videos about American politics. I have an idea for a political platform that's kind of a mix of red and blue. That's being pro-life and anti-death penalty, something like that. That's kind of taking a little bit from both sides, or being pro-education and also pro-American. Why does school funding and paying teachers amount to something anti-American or anti-capitalism? Those are the kind of things we'll discuss, because it seems like, I don't know, the Republicans and Democrats, they all contradict themselves in so many ways, and the goal is to have the world needs a strong America. We're seeing this. America has to be first, front and center, or the whole civilized world will finish last. It's just, we're seeing that's just a fact of life. But America also needs to understand that this capitalism that they have in America is just crap. It's not really capitalism, it's just corporatism. Everything favors large corporations. They benefit from, economies of scale and huge tax breaks. So we have to discuss that too next week. So yeah. So that's all I got for today. I don't want to walk around too much, or the neighbors, I don't know, it's still a little tense here, but I think it's safe to film outside. Anyway, take care. See y'all. Do a like and subscribe. I know there's probably 20 or 30 of you watching, but if you enjoyed this video, share it. Take care. Bye-bye.